Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more. Okay, guys, we're back for part 2. So if you're just tuning into the podcast for the first time, and this is the first episode that you've landed on, go back to the episode before this, as it's a 2-part episode with George Shepard and Christopher Wayne. So world-class musicians and magicians. They joined me on this episode as co-hosts, and we've had some incredible discussions. So make sure you go back and listen to that first episode and hit the subscribe button, leave a review, and if you haven't already joined the Inner Circle, men, make sure you head over to themanthatcanproject.com/Inner Circle to join our online global community where men are taking their life to that next level and creating massive momentum. It's enough from me now. Let's get back into part 2 of this conversation.
You're listening to the Man That Can Project with Lockie Stewart, a global movement created to empower men and open up what's really going through their minds by having real and raw conversations about life's unique challenges and our individual ways of processing it all. Welcome to the Man That Can Project.
So we're back. George just went for a bathroom break.
Little tiny sabbatical. Well, it's not tiny, but, you know, it's average size sabbatical.
It's all right, man. No one's here to judge.
So you were talking about a book, Locke, that you're about to write.
You're writing a book.
I'm writing a book.
The Man That Can Write a Book. Tell me about it.
Well, I don't know if I can actually write a book, but I'm going to put pen to paper. And
What's it about?
I've got a client, right, he's a lawyer, but he also loves writing, and he hasn't written for years because he's so busy. And he was like, it'd be awesome if we wrote a book together because, you know, it'd help me get back to doing what I love. And also you'd get a book out. But then the more I've thought about it, and this has been like 18 months because I worked with him. Yeah, it would have been over 18 months ago, 2 years ago. And then I've always thought about it. I've been like, that'd be cool. But I'm always like, I don't have time. And then I've been thinking for like 6 months, maybe the reason why I'm writing a book is not for the actual fact of writing a book, but is to can everything else and just sit down and fucking write.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Because I write every morning now. I've been journaling for like 6 months. I've been journaling for years, but I've been journaling every day for 6 months. And it's cool.
Is it really?
No, it's not really. But
Just talking about your experiences of the day, or is it like a...
yeah, like
whatever
some days I'll talk about what I want to achieve for the day. Sometimes I'll talk about how I've been feeling and why I'm trying to understand myself more.
It kind of clears your consciousness, right?
Yeah, I'll ask...
we got tasked with this in acting school. We had to write... They were called daily pages. And we had to write 3 pages where you just wake up first thing in the morning and then put pen to paper, not even knowing what you're writing. You could just... The goal is to not stop writing until you've hit 3 pages.
The unconscious writing thing, right?
So you can... You might... The first thing might be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm writing about, but now that I'm awake, I feel tired. And But you just don't stop. And it's this constant stream of consciousness.
Was it good for you?
I found it really beneficial. Yeah, I found it was like just a really good way to clear, because you might have just woken up from a weird dream or something like that. It was just a way to get your consciousness clear for the day.
Makes you present as well.
Yeah, it makes you present, gets your brain working really quickly. In fact, I don't know why I stopped doing it, but now that I'm talking about it now, I feel like
I was going to ask why did you stop?
I want to start again. What you were just talking about reminded me of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, and it just helps. I think all men, like everyone, but particularly men who struggle to articulate what they feel. It's like, we'll start there. And if you write the wrong sentence, fucking, what would you write better next time? Like, it's the perfect way to learn to communicate better.
Yeah.
I'm a really bad communicator. Like, I'm really good at getting points across. I struggle with empathy.
Yeah.
So for me, and this is something I really struggle with, is the only thing I care about is letting you know how I feel, honestly. And that comes from a good place in me. It comes from me not wanting to lie, and I don't. My brain literally cannot grasp the concept of saying the right thing to make someone happy.
I like that.
I'm an expert at that.
I don't know, guys. I don't know if I suggest it. Well, it pisses people off.
Well, it
And-
does, but like I was saying this, like if you wrote a song that sucked, would you prefer people to go, I don't like that, or I do like that?
Firstly, I've written many songs that sucked.
Well, I haven't heard any.
But yeah, no, I'm actually really bad, and this is one of my flaws. I really care what other people think,
Yeah.
and I put so much emphasis on it.
We talk about this a lot, don't we?
Yeah.
Like in our private.
But
Yeah.
how can we expect every single person to like?
You
It goes
can't.
back to what we were saying. It's like not everyone can like one specific thing or agree with one specific thing.
Yeah, you can't. Like you're always gonna. And this is something. Go, Chris. You,
No. You guys know what I can't talk about right now.
Yeah.
The best example.
Yes.
Next episode.
Next episode might get you on for
I
350.
want you to remember this though.
350.
Talking about not getting on with everyone and all that.
Well, it's
Sorry,
the-
continue.
No, I mean because like I've always been a people pleaser. I've always known how to say the right thing to get somebody to like me. Like
Yeah.
I want to be liked. That's my big thing. Like since I was in boarding school, because we spoke about this the last episode when I was on, but I went to boarding school from an early age. 12 years old, I was shipped off from Papua New Guinea to. I was on a plane, but you know they they put me into boarding school. My parents. They were devastated as well, but I went through boarding school and I found this like new environment where everybody was completely different to what I'd experienced in Papua New Guinea. And I didn't fit in. I wasn't like a rugby guy from the country. Like I was a different kid. And so I spent like my entire high school years learning how to adapt to what other people like. And I was very much focused on getting people to like me.
Do you feel because you were doing that, you didn't know what you liked? Or do you feel like you still learnt that in the process?
No, I know what I liked, and and this is partly why I really enjoy alone time. Like I like to
love it
hang out
too.
with myself
I love it.
because I know I'm the best person. I'm the best fucking dude to hang out with. So when I'm hanging out with myself, I'm really excited to do that. I'm not on anyone else's schedules. I'm not on like trying to figure out what somebody else is trying to get.
Yeah.
But when I'm hanging out with someone else, my brain is on fire trying to figure out what they're thinking and how I can best present myself to that situation. So I'm like a chameleon in that sense. There was this one night where I had 5 of my best friends from different walks of life
Oof.
that
I
all
wasn't
met up.
there. Were you there?
No.
This is before
I'm
you
new.
guys.
I'm new to the picture though.
This is before you guys even existed
91.
in my life.
Ah,
How
91.
wait, how old are you?
30 this year, remember?
Oh, fuck, man. I'm so old.
How old are you?
Dude, I turned 37 in 2 weeks. You look
What are you, April?
March 28th.
Ooh.
Yeah, but you know you've had an amazing life.
Yeah, and I look it. like,
You don't look it.
like, oh, he's lived. If I was a baby, they go, oh, he's an old soul. That's Mel Buttle's joke, if she's listening. Wow. I'm so annoyed that you're so young and youthful.
Man, I look like I'm about 50. Look at the greys coming through.
But
I've
your
had a
age is like the
rough
boy
life.
that can
Look, here comes the envy again, boys.
Yeah, I
Here
know.
it comes.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for being the adjudicator. Back to you.
Sorry, George.
Oh no, I was just telling a story about how I
Love
had all
myself.
these 5 different people
Yes.
who in their individual scenarios were my best friends, like
get
in
it.
completely different walks of life. And I brought them all together in this one event. We went to Bribey Island and I had them all there. We stayed together and I didn't know who to be. I was like, I had this really weird like ego meltdown, shutdown thing where I didn't know how to talk to any of them because I'm a different person with each of the 5 people. So I'm like, how I might act with Scully, for example, is not how Liam would have reacted
Yeah,
to
I
me.
get
You know
you.
what I mean? And like, so I didn't know what I was supposed to do. And I just ended up spending the whole night on my own while they hung out because I was just so like paranoid and unsure of who I was.
Because you want everyone to like you.
So when was this?
Yeah. This was like when I was 18.
Do you think it would still be the same if that were to happen now?
No, I've definitely learnt a little bit more about who I am. But I always remember that moment.
What advice would you give to yourself? Because we got a lot of young listeners.
I mean, it sounds cliche, but just be yourself. No, but like, you know, you've really got to try and figure out what you like and who you are, because no one else can give it to you. It's all like a conversation with the person you're having inside your own head. You know, it's not like even if I impress one friend of mine, it's my own subconscious going like, well done, you did it.
Yeah.
Good job. There's another secret man in your head that you're like constantly in communication with. And that's the person that you really have to try and impress, because the friend, he doesn't give it to you. Like the friend is not the situation.
And do you think you do that by like staying authentic to what you value and how you want to show up? Like, is that how you feel you do that? Or
look, if I'm being honest, I don't think I've really figured it out yet. I think I'm still in that situation where, like, if I hang out with Chris, I'll not say things that I think he wants to hear, but I'll definitely give him like 200% of the energy that I have to try and make him have a good time with me. Do you know what I mean?
Do you tire out when you hang out with me? Now I'm worried.
No, I enjoy it.
So you got to shift with Chris.
I've got like a Hulk muscle of this.
For those who aren't watching that arm symbol.
To be fair, as I've never had more fun than when I'm hanging out with. We've had some of the best hangs.
Well, yeah,
man.
that's right.
Am I in the way here?
But like, you know, if you talk to Nathan,
yeah,
like I really pride myself on being somebody that is fun to hang out with. Like it's one of my main things that I have in my head.
But is the definition of fun for each individual what you take, or is it what you perceive to be fun?
I guess it's what I perceive. If I feel like I've been fun for that person, then I give myself a pat on the back.
Get home and go.
Just like, Kathleen, you wouldn't believe it.
I've been.
Kathleen goes, where have you been? You know, it's like, well, I've got this thing. I had a friend that I was hanging out with, and we had an amazing time, and I gave them all of this like wisdom and insight that I have, and I'm sharing my experiences, and I had a great time. But there's friends that I have that Kathleen's like, why would you even bother with that? Which I find interesting. Not you. You're safe.
Yeah. Did you see my face just change? What did she say about
Not you. You're safe.
I got this weird thing where I could not give a fuck about anyone's opinion on me.
Yeah, I'm
except
jealous.
I absolutely care at the same time. When I went, what did Kathleen say something? I don't give a fuck, but seriously, if she said something, tell me now, please. So I can be sad tonight.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's funny. That's
so
great.
What is it? What is it about? Because I'm with you on that. Like, I want to not give a shit about what anyone says about me. And I don't want to have to I've just stopped reading comments online. I've stopped giving a crap about social media because it affects me so much.
I've got to learn to do that. I'm dying for that next episode.
Yeah, me too. We could just record. No, I'm kidding. That's too much editing.
Well, I mean, it's a different thing when it's like you're put in the public eye and you're scrutinized. Like it's something that you sacrifice. You put yourself out there, and you got to know that it's part of the territory of what you're doing.
This was one of the questions. It was probably the best question, hence why I sent it to you boys. But how was your relationships, and or ship, depending on how many you've got, changed since you become famous? And that can be with the public. And we spoke about this on the last episode. Like, people think they know you based off what they've seen on social media.
Yeah, you lose the ability to make a first impression.
Yeah, I wrote a post about it yesterday. A chick, I went to a that was me freaking course back in January or February or whatever, and one of the ladies like, you're just not what I pictured you to be like based off what I've seen on social media. And I was like, well, social media is my platform, just like music and musician is your platform to express what you want. And it's like, when I think I'm quiet when I am around people because I want to listen, I want to learn and just observe. That's what I like doing. And she's like, you're just so quiet. I wouldn't picture that. I'm like, well, I like to share my opinion when it's asked for, but other than that, I'd shut the fuck up. There's no point unless it's something, because I'm not going to change people's minds.
Yeah, right.
But so for you guys, because I don't get too much hate, thank fuck. But I'm sure you boys.
I actually don't.
Well,
I
I'm
get
gonna
it sometimes.
start trolling.
You guys aren't famous enough.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
What do I got to do?
No, look, it comes. And I mean this in the least egotistical way possible.
Yeah.
The more your profile increases, the more you get exposed to all of the dead shits of society, and then those people want to have a say about you. And it doesn't matter if you know who they are or you don't know who they are or they know who you are. Like, you know, Ricky Gervais had a really good stand-up bit about it, which Liam sent to us the other day, where it's like, you know, he has a tweet, he sends out a tweet, and people get personally offended by it. And it's not that he doesn't know that they're following him. He has no idea who this person is.
It's not like they directly SMS'd it.
Yeah, and it's he likens it to somebody walking into the town square and seeing a advertisement with all the tearaway numbers for guitar lessons. And it's like somebody runs up to him and goes, I didn't want guitar lessons, you know? And he calls up the number.
How dare you?
It's like, are you doing the guitar lessons? I don't want them. And then hangs up, you know? It's like, if you don't like it, just move on.
Yeah.
You know, don't bother with it. Like,
I think I'm ready to break the internet with what you're saying.
What's that?
It just turned up.
The internet?
No, the analogy.
We're going back to
The internet's here.
Well, it's not actually our internet. Telstra, you suck. If you're listening, you are terrible.
Jesus.
I hate Telstra.
Hope they're not an affiliate of Lululemon. You'll be paying for.
Yeah. Well, mate, I'm
stupid
already
sweatpants.
paying for it and we don't get it. I'm always hot spotting.
What's your internet analogy?
So you're a t-shirt at City Beach. Hear me out.
Yep.
Why not Maya?
Actually, there's a reason that it's City Beach and not Maya.
Okay.
Because City Beach has display windows and Maya doesn't. Yeah. So when you're when I say regular, I mean not a professional performer, right? You're a $50 shirt at City Beach, and the only people that see you and have an opinion on you are the people that are inside City Beach walking past you on the rack. And then some people go, oh, that shirt's shit. Or some go, oh, I want to try that on. That might be your friends and family that like you and love you, right? But that shirt's still worth $50, no matter what the people that like you, the people that like it think, and the people that walk past and go, shit. The only difference between you and someone that is a bricklayer or something is that your shirt, you being the shirt, is on display in the window. So instead of just the people in City Beach that are, it's everyone in the shopping center walks past and sees that shirt and now has an opinion on it. But it doesn't fucking matter. You're worth $50. No matter how many people walk past and go, I got to get that shirt. And then everyone buys it. Or if everyone walks past and goes, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. That shirt is still worth $50 no matter how randoms feel about it. So that's the difference. We're all an item at City Beach. Some of us are inside the store and some of us are at the shop front.
But I guess now if people were to, everyone that walked past and had an opinion on it was to stick a sticky
Was
tape,
to go up to the shirt and
sticky
go,
note on the window.
I hate you.
I hate this
They
shirt.
tell all their friends about the shirt.
Yeah. Where it's like you just walk on. If you don't like the shirt, it's a weird thing. People don't like to be promoted things that they don't
Yeah,
like,
well,
you know?
clearly
they're
something
not
you
into.
said Facebook picked up, or something you searched Facebook picked up, and now my ads are in your fucking feed.
Well, see, there you go.
Suck
so
it.
our managers put out an ad for the album Kaleidoscope Eyes.
Nice little plug. Yep.
Just released. But
You
it
can buy
was
it on iTunes and Spotify.
you have these Facebook ads that go out, and you're supposed to sort of there's like an option where you can target it to certain demographics and people that you know are into your music. You know, so Holland is a big market of ours. Target Facebook Holland,
Yeah.
but for some reason it always picks up people that just have and are really angry about the fact that they've been targeted by this saccharine pop music that are like, how dare you? Why Facebook? And they're like complaining to Facebook in the comment. Like they take the time out of their day to comment on the ad, being like, Facebook, how dare you? This is not me. I don't like this.
You can. There's a three dots at the top that you can go hide ad and don't show me ads like this again.
Exactly. So why do people feel that they need to give it that extra bit of their energy.
Do you feel
and
because they're
time.
not getting heard in their own life, they don't feel significant in their own life?
Boom.
Do you think that's what it is?
I think, well, if we go back to, can you, producer, bring this up?
Yes, sir.
Hierarchy of needs.
This is my thing, though. I don't, because I'm still I'm the shirt. I'm still worth $50.
Yeah,
So,
but-
but no one's opinion matters to me because
Yeah,
I got my price tag.
Yeah, well, it depends which way we're looking at this thing. That's right. So, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There we go. Wow,
Yeah,
what
I
is
guess
this-
if the
is this-
shirt had...
I'm arguing about a different point on the same subject, aren't I?
no, but it does make sense. Like with that...
So,
Sorry, go.
no, hold on, it's not. You guys carry on. Sorry.
Want to let for
If the
everyone
shirt
listening,
had feelings.
if any of this, oh yeah, right, okay. I do also for listeners, I do struggle with feelings sometimes. Sorry.
If I was just a inactive shirt in a window, then yes, I could let them walk by. But I'm constantly, like I said to you before, my whole job is to create relationships and build friendships and
so is mine though.
get people to like me in that sense.
All right, yeah.
So like whenever someone doesn't like me, I really take it personally and I find it hard to let it go.
Yeah, okay.
So there might be 100 really nice comments and I'm like, cool, that's the way it should be. And then one of the comments will be like, you guys suck because of this. And you're like, well, I got to fix that. There's a little pothole in the road. I got to patch up that pothole. And that's my focus right now, to make sure that,
Yeah, wow.
No more
you don't look at
potholes
the smooth road.
yeah, I don't look at the smooth road.
Just come on, Lockie, hit us. You got a
Well,
gym.
The 6 human needs, and this is not basic like food, water, all that, shelter, all that sort of stuff. This is emotional needs. But certainty, uncertainty, and variety, contradiction, but I'll explain in a moment.
Variety, yep.
Significance, connection and love, growth and contribution. Right? So certainty, but where I went was with significance, feeling unique, important, special, or needed.
Oh man, that's me.
That's where I feel like, you know, I forgot I do
Yeah.
ads as well and people fucking troll that stuff.
People get their opportunity to be
they're-
heard.
And then hopefully someone likes it and jumps on that bandwagon as well. And then all of a sudden you're a leader.
Yeah.
You're like,
And all of a sudden someone I've known is a racist, you know,
Yeah.
or like then they get cancelled because somebody's had this need to be heard or be special.
yeah.
And not saying that like these concerns don't need to be addressed, but I feel like in this day and age, a lot of people can just say whatever they want about a person. And whether it's based in fact or not, the accusation is the damning situation. Like it doesn't matter what, you know, the judge, jury, and executioner on the internet nowadays.
This is why I think like to get back to, you know, everything that's fucking blowing, like the world is a complete shit show at the moment with everything, in my opinion. People are doing rallies.
It's just a different type of shit show.
Yeah. Well, people are doing
It's always been a
rallies.
shit show.
Yeah. Well, you know, doing rallies and what'd you call it before? Like where they're just not, it's a lazy man.
Oh, slacktivism.
Slacktivism.
Mm.
And a lot of this is, in my opinion, happening because we aren't working back on how we gain this from within. We're all trying to get it externally, whether it's, you know, in a positive way, which some people do, or a negative way, which some people do. Where they're trying to get certainty, they're trying to get variety, they're trying to get that love and connection. You might get that in a rally, right? If you went to the march today, you might get that in, you know, there's various ways, and it's true to that individual. And this is what, you know, if we loop back around to the conversation we were having before, you're not going to get 7+ billion people on the same fucking page.
Yeah, no.
It's not possible, but everyone is craving, you know, the growth, the contribution, the connection, you know, even Slack division.
Slack division.
Slack division.
Slack Division
It's like
opening
that
July 2019.
That helps people feel significant because they're contributing to something bigger than themselves. They may not even fully understand. It's like when I was doing network marketing, I didn't fully understand it, but I was
You're part of
involved
a
in
community.
Yeah, I was involved in something bigger than myself.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, while I look back and cringe at some of the stuff that I did and said and all that sort of stuff, it's like, well, at that point in my life, that's where I was. And I think everyone, you know, and this is how I sort of get my head around those people who, you know, having a crack at saying dumb shit. It's like, well, they're just doing something that they believe in at this point in their life. And maybe, you know, I love having a conversation with them because I know that by the time I get off the phone with them, they're going to have a completely different attitude to me or the Man That Can project. But
Yeah. What I've noticed is that every time you do confront them, they get really surprised by the fact that they've gotten through to you and that their opinion now all of a sudden doesn't matter. It's like this guy once tweeted Shepard being like, this is the worst song I've ever heard. And I'm like, well, listen to something else. And he goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was talking to the guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like people don't even realize that they're actually hitting the target with what they're saying.
That's why they need to have like your license attached to it.
Well, yeah, people need their name. People need to be held accountable.
Can you imagine?
Oh, that would be amazing.
It'd be a game changer. They need that for Instagram for sure. That you have to have
Facebook,
ID
Instagram,
verified.
Twitter.
Did I tell you on the last podcast about Gary Vee?
No.
I am embarrassed to admit this, but it's a great story, and I'm not proud of this. It was like 2016, and he's popping up on all my Facebook feeds and all those ads, and I was the annoyed guy. And I'm like, who's this guy that's selling a non-specific product and just always angry, and there's always a fucking whiteboard in the background? No offense, Lockie.
Fuck, I've got two of them in front of you.
Yeah, I know. Right? And then one day, a fucking ad
You're
came
hilarious,
up,
man.
and I tweeted him, and I'm like, dude, I don't know who you are, but your ads keep popping up, and something about you really annoys me. On my life, 2 minutes later, I get a video reply on Twitter from Gary Vee in the middle of a fucking board meeting
What?
in his office in New York. And, well, Christopher, I don't really know what I did to upset you, but I got to tell you, a lot of people don't like me, and I'm actually a really nice guy. I'm going to assume you don't know much about what I'm about, so it's cool. I'm not mad at you, and I'm thankful you reached out, but do me a favor, like before you say this again, can you look at what I do? Biggest Gary Vee fan.
Wow.
A year later, I finished reading his book, and I sent him a message, and I'm like, I was a dickhead. I was that idiot on the internet, and instead of you yelling back and being like, "Oh, nice one," like bitch face, he came back with love, and he's like, "Hey, figure me out, man. I'm a person." And I got to know what he was about, and I'm a big Gary Vee fan now.
Oh, man.
And yeah,
That's the best story I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I'm
I love
embarrassed
it.
to admit that
If
I
I
was
don't
that guy.
start seeing George Shepard posting video replies to all the hate on the comments.
He
Oh, dude.
showed me the people in his on the thing on his video phone, and he's in New York City in his office in a room full of people.
I bet you they felt important knowing that he's
Well,
just
he was
checking
on
his
Twitter.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah, the one hater on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, I got to take this.
But see, it's funny how even he didn't just ignore it.
That was the last time I was mean to someone on the internet. I'm not proud that I was ever.
But you learn from it.
Yeah. Massively. And I learned how to...
tweets that
People
don't.
don't realize that they do get hurt.
Yeah.
It's like that guy that tweeted me didn't even think for a second that I would see it and that I would respond to it. And so he was just literally just like firing his anger into the ether. And it hit the target, and all of a sudden he was like really apologetic about it because that's not who he is, and he was angry that day, or he didn't mean to
He wouldn't do that to you at a
make
pub.
it permanent. He just thought he was like firing it up into the sky. And I think that's what a lot of people do, not realizing the effect that it's having on real people.
One of my friends is dead. She killed herself from trolls.
No way.
Yeah, she committed suicide. She was a porn actress, and she was like a friend of mine. She was
Just rephrase, it's not committed suicide anymore. It's not a crime. I don't think it's a crime anymore. It's just died by suicide. Little correction.
Is that a political correctness thing?
No, that's
She
just a
committed
real
the act.
Yeah, but it's a big thing that they're pushing as they died by suicide. Because
I didn't
it
even
used to
know.
be called committed because it used to be a crime to die by suicide.
Wow.
It fucking doesn't like that.
It's so fucking stupid. It's just English.
This is very great.
Yes. So
No, this is great.
I've
This is a
learned
little
a lot
impasse
in
here.
this.
Where we've had
that's
the
really
moment
interesting
of
to me.
No, well, I think they're trying to change the narrative around it because you think committed suicide is like they've done something wrong. Obviously, it's wrong, but it's like died by suicide is just the way they died now.
But committed adultery isn't a crime. It's you committed an act of adultery.
Maybe it's you. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Can we get my PR guy onto that?
Gary.
She
But yeah, no, that's interesting.
she refused to have sex with an openly gay it was an unprotected scene. This is in Los Angeles, and she chose not to have sex. He was like privately gay, but filmed straight scenes.
Yeah.
And then on the shoot, she said, "I don't feel comfortable having unprotected sex with a gay man, simply because of potential." And even though you have to return blood work for any shoot, there's still a window of danger.
Yep.
And he was offended by that, took it to the internet, and then the gay community. I spoke to her the day before she died when she was going through it, and it was just kill yourself, you slut. How dare you target our community like that? It was just non-stop hate. And she hung herself. She's dead now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's real.
And I'm not, it's horrible, but I'm not surprised that that's the measure that she took when she was getting that much negativity. Like, as somebody who's actually received quite a bit of it, I know how it feels. And it's like, I wouldn't consider myself to be like super famous or anything like that, but just scratching the surface of it, knowing what people are like on the internet. If it was something like nationwide, full on, like huge scandal, and you've just got the entire internet throwing these darts at you constantly, it gets to a point where you just don't want to be yourself anymore. And it really hurts. And it's serious. It's not like you just have to deal with it, get over it. It's a really serious mental health issue. Cyberbullying.
And then you
100%.
got most of these people who are, not most, that's not, but there's a lot of those people who are then posting mental health matters and are you okay day and shit. And then a lot of these people are the ones saying the dumb shit that they don't think is affecting people.
Yeah.
There's so many people that think they're a part of the solution, but they're a huge part of the fucking problem as well.
It's really good. That's what I'm going to get out today. I'm going to be nicer.
Be nice, everybody. Just have empathy.
That's be nicer. The only thing. Yeah, empathy. That's
empathy. Good. People exist that aren't you, and they all have
fucking
childhoods.
fine.
They all have dreams. They all have parents. They all have lives that are very real to them.
And one day you're going to have fucking children, probably, and you want to be a good role model for them. You don't want to be a fucking dickhead that they can scroll through your Twitter feed and see that you hated on Gary Vee.
I deleted that Twitter account.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Well, again.
But I think that's important because it's okay to be wrong too. Like, it's okay to admit that you're wrong. And that's what I appreciate about the Gary Vee thing, that Gary Vee story.
Big slice of humble pie. I'm not proud that I was that person. But again, like the conversation I had with my friend the other day about the welcome to country in a show, I was wrong that day. And I got a really good lesson from a dialogue. Not from neither of us yelled or got angry. And that's when years before that, when I was a dickhead to Gary Vee on the internet, instead of him going, "No, you're a dickhead," he's like, "Hey, why don't you, if you don't like what I'm selling, why don't you find out a bit more about it first before you..."
That's what I think people need to do there. Most of us don't understand, no one understands everything. And every time we're doing something new, there's the opportunity to learn something. And you went through the experience of being open to learning and being educated by someone who knew more, which changed your belief and understanding of it. Whereas a lot of people just get so hot-headed so quickly, they miss the opportunity to learn something that can completely change the game.
How did I look in that selfie?
Just wanted to be mindful of your guys' time. How are you guys going? We're at 5:45.
Yeah, I got work in August. Yeah, we're good.
I got dinner at 6:30. I got work in August.
Yeah, I haven't done much.
What are you doing for dinner?
I think we've got chicken tacos.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
If there's any left over, I'll have them for lunch.
Yeah,
I've been really fortunate. This is completely off topic, but for the last month, probably once a week, I've been getting leftovers from George and Kathleen.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, mate.
Because we've been making an effort to not eat out as much. And so we buy ingredients to make meals. And all of a sudden we've realized we're not feeding a family of 5. We're feeding 2 people.
Maybe that is why my in-body scan is blown out.
Yeah, I'd say so.
If I'm being honest. It's not because of the way I eat. It's the way I'm fed by Kathleen and George. So there's me not accepting responsibility for why I am the way I am. So if anyone...
That's me sabotaging.
Yeah.
You should tweet George later.
Yeah, I'm going to...
It's my turn. I need to pee.
Yeah.
Do we have time? Or are we done?
Well, what would you like to do? Is there anything else? We've gone for nearly 2 hours. That's a pretty...
No, we have not.
Yeah, we have.
Are people still listening? Do we know? Can we predetermine?
How long do you guys spend listening to a podcast?
Oh, that depends. So I only listen to them when I'm I listen to a podcast to go to sleep, but just because the sound comforts me. Then it's just Joe Rogan when I go on road trips.
Yeah. So what I'm even thinking with this, I'll split it in two and release
2
one on the
episodes.
Monday and one on the Wednesday so people can digest half the episode. Or do you reckon drop it as one?
Mark Maron did that with Louis C.K. and it was amazing.
So do you reckon double drop?
Yeah, double drop.
I love double drop. It's been a while.
Do you guys ever have that thing on your Instagram story where like 800 people look at the first photo and then 750 people look at the next one and 700 look at the next one? It's like, I wasn't hot.
Where did everyone go?
Just me?
I feel like in terms of this, people are either into podcasts or they're not. Mm-hmm. And if you're into a podcast, you're going to listen to the whole thing.
Well, I feel like this has been huge. Like, I've enjoyed the conversation. I think that it's actually been a really, really
Productive chat.
productive conversation. Like, I've learned a lot.
If it seems unconventional to your listeners, I think it's because the three of us decided, and we kind of decided this beforehand, that there wouldn't be any just bullshit saying the right thing talk. That the three of us are comfortable being real.
Well, this is the whole thing about
We wanted to make it a conversation.
the whole thing about this podcast. There have been people on occasions who've come on and, you know, they haven't been what I believe to be genuine. But majority of people that come on here are fairly genuine. And you get a good conversation out of it. If you guys listen to more episodes, you would know that. So there's 200.
The guy from episode 250 wasn't very genuine.
Yeah, no, he was a bit of it.
I'm going to listen to that one.
But
I'm gonna go for a walk.
we're
and
up to
listen you guys.
287 episodes now. This will probably be, I don't know, might save it for 300. What do you reckon? I'm going to bang out an episode a week this week.
Yeah, please make it something easy for me to remember. Because
250 and 300.
Congratulations, by the way, Lachlan. That's huge. That's
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Do you enjoy podcasting?
I love it. And so I started the podcast for a very selfish reason. So when I first started using Instagram, I was very bad with spelling. I still kind of am. And I was very bad at sentence structure. Then I had Amy help me. So every time I'd write a post, I'd send it to her in notes and she'd like copy and then I'd get to read the differences. And then that's how I learned to write. And I think I'm a little bit better at writing. And I started podcasts. So if you go to the very first episodes, it's all me. And I sound like a completely different dude back in 2017. Yeah. But I did it to learn to speak better. I did Toastmasters and a few other public speaking things because I still swear a lot, but I mumbled a lot. I couldn't project my voice. I still do a lot of that, but like I've gotten so much better. And then I started getting guests on, and the first guests that I had, I was very bad at asking questions. So then that taught me to ask better questions. Uber also did that as well. But like it's developed this whole skill set. Now I get to like speak to incredible people like you guys and heaps of other people who are like got incredible stories or they're experts in whatever they do. And it's like, I just sit here getting to listen and learn and ask questions I don't want to ask.
That's so cool.
Might be a crazy idea, and brace yourselves. I reckon we should do this once a week.
I'm keen.
What you've just described is a podcast.
Yeah, but like once with three of us, we should start.
As in a separate podcast?
a separate podcast.
What should we call it? The Man That Can with the Magician and
And the man.
I,
We'll figure out the name. We'll keep workshopping the name.
I'm going to
But
say
like,
that I'd be up for it.
I'm keen. Should
I
we
feel
get
like
a billboard?
We've got a really nice way of talking to each other, and we have these ideas that complement one another.
Well, you guys know I have stuff coming up that I am dying to
August.
talk about
Yes.
on a podcast.
Yeah.
I got work before. We got two. You're coming to my job on.
Can you talk
Thursday.
about your show just so like this will already have happened?
This is cool. It's sold out anyway, so we're not selling tickets. We're just talking about it.
Well, it might be sold out because knowing what I know about George and myself, we lose fucking. I had to send a photo in the group in the family chat the other day because I lost my wallet again. And then when I went downstairs, it was sitting on the ground in the garage next to the car.
Brilliant.
I lose it all the time, and so does George.
Yeah, I got this thing now called Tile, which helps me to not lose my wallet.
I got the mag thing. I got an iPhone 12, so I've got a magnet that sticks to my phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a wallet. It's like a little wallet.
What if you lose your phone?
I just never lose my phone.
Did you say wallet? No, in my head it came out better.
He's trying to for a pun.
Eminem can rap orange, so I thought wallet. Don't worry, I forgot it.
Damn.
Yeah, wallet for him. You need a mullet.
Sorry, where were we? We're talking about your show.
Trying to rhyme wallet. Okay, so I wrote a play in 2018.
Mullet with wallet. Mallet.
Two Men
Do you know what a
Tarantino.
mallet is?
Look, let's let him go.
No.
Let's let him say.
No, you guys.
Two-man Tarantino.
That's cool. I'm going to be over here. It's a whiteboard.
But no, this is that show that's been. It's happened before, and it was such a raging success
You know what happened? It did really well. And then I was going to tour it, and I got Vegas like 3 days later. This sounds really arrogant, but that's literally what happened. So I had one show doing well, and the Naked Magicians got signed to Vegas, and I just had to pack up and leave everything back here, including that show, because I run my business. It's not like I could go over to Jenny, my PN, and be like, hey, make this show successful now. So I went to Vegas and had to pack up, but now it's back in Brisbane. It'll be the first play at the Powerhouse since COVID. 12 months. It's the reopening of that theatre downstairs. It's their first full 100% seated production since COVID hit. It's crazy. Set in a video store.
And so why aren't you in it?
I think my time on stage is limited, and something I'm big on with this show is I want to hire people that can do, like, the idea for the show is mine, and it's a great idea, but there's the actors in the show. There's 2 actors. They're better than me, than I could ever be. They're professional, full-time actors. So they live and breathe this show now, and they're amazing at it. And I have a director, even though I know what the show is supposed to look like in my head, she directs them better than I ever could. And I have, all that stuff. And it's really hard because I have to let go and give this thing that 2 years I worked on this show. And then I had to go, I'm handing this part to you, please. Do good with it. And you two are the 2. I spent 2 years writing these characters. You guys are playing them. Bring them to life. Director, take everything that I've written on a computer, bring it to life. And I have to. So my job now is assembling the Avengers. I'm Nick Fury, but I have to pick the best to get on stage and make that show, because I have a relationship with an audience that I've never met. They got the tickets on the fridge. They're going to dinner beforehand. Wife's picking a dress. I want to give them the best possible show. That's a relationship. They'll never meet me. I'll never meet them. But we have this relationship that'll never happen, that'll never become physical. But I owe them everything because they're giving me time and money, and they can't get a refund on either at my show.
You're a monster.
Can I get a refund on my free ticket?
Oh, yeah, you guys are coming. That's so exciting.
I'm excited.
I'm excited as well.
Even though I'm a magician and a comedian, I want to make applause. I don't want to get it. So I get as much from making a show that makes people happy and laugh and clap. And laughter isn't like comedy's my thing. I get as much out of that when I'm sitting in the lighting booth just watching it, writing down notes, and the whole audience is having the best night ever, as when I'm on stage. I don't get more when I'm on stage. So as long as I'm making the clap, I don't need to get it. I've had the clap before. It's overrated.
Take a tablet and you're good.
George is catching up.
Take a tablet and you're good. That was great.
I hope.
But yeah, no, I think Chris also, his strength, I said this before, but his strength is not in script, but it's in like impulse. So he's very much an improvisation master. And I've seen it countless times, whether it's in a conversation with a waitress or if it's like someone says something to him when he's on stage in a stand-up. Like there's always this moment where Chris he's got ideas of what he wants to say in a stand-up, and it's great. It's really good, and he's got great jokes. But then as soon as somebody gives him something that's not on the script, someone yells at a heckler or something in the crowd, the thing that he fires back is like so much better than the scripted stuff.
It's annoying.
Yeah, but that's like, it's not annoying because you just have to work less.
I just spent a week working on this new material, and I did it at the comedy club the other night, and it was like good. And then one woman yelled something out, and I just had this line for it, and it got a better laugh than everything else.
Really?
And I was jacked that I got that it was a good set, but I'm like, I just spent a whole fucking week working on all this stuff. And then a woman yelled out, "Show us your dick." And I said, "After you, sweetheart." And that's what tore it. That's what tore the house down.
See what I mean? It's way better than the joke itself. Like, it's fucking great. And there's that added level of excitement in it. So I can understand why he doesn't want to be an actor in the play. He wants to be the guy who's...
Is that why it's like the comparison, you being the songwriter but not...
Yeah, I mean, I understand when he says that the applause is overrated. Like, it's really nice, and I enjoy performing and being the guy that brings this love and joy to people. But the applause part. Like you just like you feel a little weird and you go like, thank you, and you walk off. But like if I was to be the guy writing the songs and some other band is singing it and I'm just there in the sound booth going, cool, and then seeing how much joy that music still brings to everybody, I would imagine would be just as fulfilling.
Do you guys know who Bernie Taupin is?
No.
Yeah, Elton John's writer.
Yeah, the guy that writes Elton John songs.
Okay.
And
I
does the
should know
lyrics,
that because I've seen
all of
Rocket
them.
Man.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
that guy. And, you know, I'm sure he's never going, geez, I wish I was Elton John.
Point.
I would dare say that we will keep talking until midnight.
Yeah,
if we,
so let's,
if we don't call it.
Let's cut it. We're done.
Guys, I love you both, and I'm really thankful. Thank you for having me on your show
Thank
because
you,
it's
boys,
your
for
show.
coming on. But maybe we're going to branch out to another one next week.
Yeah, great.
I mean, it just could be a nice thing to get
I would love
going,
to
like
do
a
it.
routine podcast. I've never been in
But
a
it
situation.
also gives
These
us-
are just too much fun. I like this.
But it gives us the
Sounds great.
opportunity to take what's going on in the world or just anything in our lives and just choose like 3 sort of points that we can learn, you know, encourages us to learn more about anyway, but then share it in romance, in philosophical ways and direct. Yes. Just looked up at the ceiling like I was wise.
Well,
Quick joke for any psychics that are listening. Can't believe that worked.
That got me good. Well, gents, thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
And
we'll see you next week.
we'll see you next week on a different podcast name. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, share if you got value from this. Reach out to us in the Man That Can Project's Facebook community and hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for investing your time. And remember, we're going to be releasing more episodes every week. We're flying through. We're getting very, very close to that 300th episode. So everyone who's taken the time to listen, leave a review and a 5-star rating. We appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lockie Stewart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.